Welcome to Susmita's Voice. Today's story is Bholi. Story in a nutshell. Bholi is a short story written by K.A. Abbas. The story revolves around the girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. She's always target of everyone for not being good looking and intelligent. Her life turns when she joins a nearby school where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and confident person. Later in the story, circumstances arise where Bholi had to give acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match, but rejects it when she sees her father pleading to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. The story shows the rise of a girl against social injustice so that Bholi's right in what she decides for herself and what she does. Let's reveal the idea we have about the other. Khwaja Ahmad Abbas, popularly known as K.A. Abbas, was an Indian film director, screenwriter, novelist, and a journalist in Urdu, Hindi, and English language. He won 4 National Film Awards in India, and internationally his films won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Films Festival and the Crystal Globe at the Karlovy Vary International Film Festival. The plot of the story. The story opens up with the introduction of a little girl called Sulekha. She was called Bholi for being a simpleton. This was so because some part of her brain had got damaged due to an injury during her childhood. She stammered and had pockmarks on her face which she got when she had contracted smallpox at the age of 2. She was a laughing stock for everyone. Her father Ramlal was a nabadar. He had 3 sons and 4 daughters, Bholi being the youngest of all. Ramlal was always worried about her as it seemed impossible to marry her with her having an ugly face and a dumb mind. One day the Tahsildar visited their village to inaugurate the girls' primary school. He persuaded Ramlal to send his daughters to school. Ramlal's wife suggested to send Bholi to school, although she was against sending girls to school because no boy would marry such a girl. She reasoned that as Bholi had no chance to get married, she should go to school. In the beginning, Bholi was frightened to leave her house, but when for the first time in her life she was dressed up with her hair and washed in oil, she felt that she was to visit a better place. In the school, she met a teacher who was very kind and polite to her. She encouraged her to study and speak with confidence. This filled hope in Bholi, and she began to go to school every day. Years passed and her village upgraded into a small town with some facilities like a cotton mill, a cinema, and the primary school being converted into a secondary school. One day, Bholi's parents decided to marry her to a lame old man who was a widower but was rich and had not demanded any dowry. They thought it to be the best marriage proposal for their dumb daughter and fixed up her marriage. On the wedding day, the bridegroom arrived with a great pomp and show which filled Ramlal with joy. The groom discovered that Bholi had pockmarks and demanded dowry in return for marrying her. He demanded a sum of 5,000 rupees. Ramlal begged for mercy and even placed his turban in Bishambar's feet, but Bishambar Nath did not agree. Ramlal had to give the money in order to save both his family honor and his daughter's marriage. Bholi could not bear all this and refused to marry a greedy old man. People accused her of being shameless. The wedding party returned. The marriage ceremony ended without Bholi getting married. Her father was surrounded by grief and said that now no one would marry her and what would she do in future? To this she replied that she would take care of her parents when they grew old and would teach in her school. Her teacher, who was quietly watching all this, felt proud of her decision. The theme of the story. The major theme of the story Bholi is the impact of family on children. Bholi is a little girl who fails to develop self-confidence because of her parents' attitude towards her. The story hints at why family support and emotional security are essential for proper growth of child. Also, disabled children must be given encouragement, love and education like their normal counterparts. Justification of the title. The title of the story is Bholi, which is based on the name of the girl. She was called Bholi by everyone since her childhood because she was very simple in her living. When she was just 10 months old, she met with an accident with her home because of which some parts of her brain got damaged. Also, at the age of 2, she suffered from smallpox, which left her body disfigured. She was a girl who suffered from such things, still, she was very happening and had aspirations in her life. Character sketch. Bholi's real name was Sulekha, but she was called Bholi, the simpleton, and she was a backward child. She was the fourth daughter of Nambardar Ramlal, who had 7 children. Bholi remained a backward child due to an injury she had in her head when she was 10 months old. It was unfair, and she was fair and pretty at the birth, but she was 2 years old when she had an attack of smallpox which left deep black marks on over her body. She started speaking She started speaking only when she turned 5, but she stammered when she spoke, and as a result, she was always mimicked or made fun of by other children. Therefore, Bholi talked a very little. Unlike Ramla's other children, she was not healthy and strong. She was frightened at first when her father wanted to take her to school. But when she was bathed and given new clothes to wear, she began to believe that she was being taken to a place better than her home. Bholi did not know what exactly a school was and what happened there. But when she saw girls like her present there, she was glad. She hoped that one of those girls would become her friend. In the class, when her teacher asked her name, she tried to say, but the girl started laughing when she stammered. She cried and kept her head down throughout the class when a teacher called out her name softly after the class was over. She was very touched because no one had ever spoken to her in such soft voice. The teacher was very encouraging and friendly to her, and this made her gain confidence to speak. She started seeing a ray of hope for a new life. After years of gaining education and with the help of a teacher, Bholi turned into a confident girl. She was no longer stammering and could speak properly. She even had the courage to refuse marrying the lame old man because he was greedy and asked money from her father to marry her. On seeing her father worried about her marriage, she said that she need not worry as she would teach in the same school where she learned so much and would take care of him and her mother in their old age. Blogger's opinion. Is Bholi someone we could find in our day to day lives and also know her? Do you think her side of the story is actually justifiable? What would you do in this kind of a life situation? Please comment below in the comment section with your thoughts and answers.